Whew, morning, morning, morning. Saturday morning. Whew, Saturday morning. So out here chilling, out here chilling, out here chilling. Let's get my thoughts out. Mm. I've been watching a lot of France 24, man. France 24 about that Russia and Ukraine. And they said they're gonna tax some missile. I just watched recently when I got out the house. I said to myself, I'm like, man, it's gonna be interesting next month. It's gonna be interesting next month. But like I said, it's just some thoughts in my head. Been thinking about these past couple of months. It's been fast. I mean, it's a lot of tension around what they say YouTube streets and things like that. It's all good. It's all good. And last night or early this morning, I saw a certain individual. He always called himself the ism, right? But went against the Grandmaster. Mm, mm, mm. Boy, I got some interesting shots to show y'all Thursday. Where I'm going to tell y'all in detail what I saw in my presentation. So most people are going to look at that as, oh, that's pure fuckery. Yeah, but when I saw something different. I saw something different. I mean, the way I know they both from California, right? I said to myself, Grandmaster, I didn't know you had it in you, man. I mean, shouts out to Art for exposing the court jester. And I said to myself, why niggas love to go at each other on art shit? I always been curious about this 2 years ago, and I said this to MOT one time. I'm like, why? And he told me it's the nigga shit. That's what sells. I might go and make a stream about that tomorrow about nigga shit sells. You can't stop it, and it's just something Duke the Don said on his recent streams I've been on. He talked about that incel problem. I've been preaching that shit for like I'll say last year and then 2 years prior. But the thing is about that, Duke the Don, I know how young he was. He's been down the same road I've been down on. So it's nothing new. Like the stuff that he's talking about, I was saying that shit years ago about certain individuals and things like that. I've been on that type of trail and then left it in 2014. But then one thing I could say about this particular era, of the new style of these content, very crazy shit. A lot of friction and things like that. But then, one thing I've noticed, I'll say this, I'll take the blame from the brunt. What's going on? Salute, salute, salute. I'll take the brunt of it. And in my mind, it's like, yeah, I participated in the bullshit. I'll admit, even though I went off the content a little bit, but it happens. But like I said, nigga shit sells. Salute, salute. And I said to myself, I cannot get mad anymore. You know what I mean? Because I know I gotta stand on my shit. I have to. I have to. I have to die on that hill, like everybody else says all the time. But I said to myself, like when I saw last night over at Arts, man, I just shook my head. I just scratched my head. So you know what? And then you got this fucking clown named Hannibal and said, "Fuck me," and the guys in the chat that represent that sphere. And I said to myself, Hannibal, Hannibal. Last time I talked to you, you compromised my stream, man. And the reason I got rid of that stream because I know how YouTube does by the old rules. If you hear that certain word starts with F against the fruits or the same sexuals, you know what's gonna happen, right? They snatch your shit. Even if you put it on private. They have a rule like that, but they changed it. And I have to be very careful because they on that bullshit. It's been like that since 2012 and prior. So YouTube is changing, people's expanding and things like that, and it's all good. And I like certain people's content now. I did some spring cleaning this week. I had to do some spring cleaning on the subscription page, but it's just like it was a certain individual I didn't like, and then I know Hannibal's close to, but I ain't gonna mention his name on here because it's no need. Because I said to myself, why is he coming at me sideways? He's mad about that shit. What happened to him? Him and Gino went at it And I explained that in part two. If y'all watch Sunday Madness 11, and it's awful, but Ronan was trying to calm him down with that. But see, the term doxing is used euphemistically. You know what I'm saying? And I know what it is. It's bad. But you know what's the problem is? It's most people don't really care. So I got to the point I stopped caring about that shit, man. Like I'm not gonna get mad about this shit long term. Like, me, when I hold grudges, it's just like, and I said to myself this last night, I said, you know what? I used to hold them for years, but the older I got, I stopped caring. It's just like I forget about you in a year or two. And that's how I get. And that's just the temperament of my thoughts. And me personally, I don't really give a fuck at this point because I know these are bad 3 months I'm dealing with, and I have to get used to it because it's decades since I created this channel. To my first channel, I lost, and then this channel, I have to maintain, what's left. But I can't get mad. I mean, the content I've done talked about is enough. Now I got to see what's around here in GA, and I'm learning to be in that political sphere. It is what it is, but yeah, man, like that Russia shit, that Ukraine, it's boggling my mind. Like, for one, I was like saying, Ukraine, they tearing their asses up, but Russia is just still trying, but Putin's desperate for death, he ain't gonna last that long. He might not last to 2 months or 1 month. I'm just saying, because next month's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see where the conversation goes. Now, Biden said something very interesting on France 24. They show a clip of him at the UN or something like that, or he was going to EU, and he said, he chin checked a white reporter, and he told her, "Look, look, this is a year process about that sanction." You know what he said? And I started laughing when he said that. He said this is years process, and it was personal for him because it goes back to the days of Obama and the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that stuff. Me and my dad was talking about that shit. We was like saying, "Yeah, it's personal with him. Yeah, it goes back to the days when they was in office." He's talking to Obama on the phone secretly. It is what it is. It's a chess move, and I think Putin realized he's exposed, but they got to give up Snowden. But I don't think he's gonna give him up like that. Willing those talks. It's probably what they're saying. But quiet as kept. He rather die. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna probably wait till he dies, and they're gonna take that information. You know how we do in America, and you ain't gonna know about Snowden's death or whatever. So it is what it is. So that was boggling my mind. I was like, in my thoughts, I said, man, Biden's moving swift. He playing that stealth game. I know what he's doing. He's putting harm on people. He's putting harm on people. Like I expect him when I voted for him. I admit, yeah, I voted for him, and I said to myself, I knew he was gonna do some damage. Knew he was gonna do some damage. But see, 2 years ago, I remember these incels, these Vocel motherfuckers, voted for Trump. Now the coon shit, the goodwill trimming, like I like to call them, these dudes, it's like they love this man and don't realize they're compromised. If he was in power, they wouldn't have got no sting ops. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Trump would have compromised the whole people's businesses out here. I would say that. But Biden's trying to clean up shit since YouTube and everything is cracking down in this era. You gotta remember the Obama years was rough. I create this channel during, I would say, the Obama years. You gotta remember that. See, '07, my first channel, peace, Bruce. I realized my channel was like a little entertainment and I left that shit, lost it during the same year, and then I create this channel somewhere of what? And then I said to myself, this channel, the second channel that I'm on now, is created in the Obama years. And I just realized something. A lot of shit repeats history itself. So it is what it is. So I'm fortunate I'm here. So it's a certain reason that things change. But that's just my thoughts of it. Like I look at it from that angle. So I'm not really mad anymore because I'm like, I expect things to happen, you know. and I'm not really pissed about that. I like what's going on, and the internet. Offline I'm good. I'm trying to focus on my shit and try to get my mind right for once, and then get into the political field as I can. Try to make some changes with my own self, but you know, I found a niche that I like. You know, it's not gonna be easy. I have to put that ideas to work, and I'm still fucking with tech stuff. I've been watching a lot of tech stuff with Mike and what's the other guys that do the gear, Julian Krause. Man, it's a hassle. But I'm in the rabbit hole. I think Kuda said you're in the rabbit hole. Of course, I'm in the rabbit hole. Once you give me something interesting like tech, that shit just keeps you isolated. And then I go outside and search, these stores and things like that, what they have. And then I'll be looking online and shit on the phone, whatever, outside as well. Most people don't tell you that. People be on the internet outside as well. And then I went to a restaurant yesterday. I think it's called Huey Louis. It's a Mexican restaurant, but they had some good stuff in there. This is my second time went there and chilled. Good time. Good time. This week to me it's been fair. I didn't think D&T got any looks, but I might do a part two of that. I might do it for like a spring. We'll see. We'll see. I got some good screenshots for y'all for those Thursday. I'm gonna tell you something. I'll explain what I saw with the art shit. His little there was a fuckery on the panel, but we got to expose. I mean, I'm going to expose. I want to say this. I'm going to expose what I saw from the Grand Master, their God, and of course the court jester himself. These two niggas, it's just like they're both from Cali, right? One's from the Bay, one's from LA. Interesting how they were saying to each other. Everybody was tripping. All them numbers jumped. All them numbers jumped. And shouts out to Art exposing that dude. Like, and I think EA, Edward Anderson was saying, man, don't give him that link. You know what he's gonna do. But see, I think Mel and EA didn't want to deal with him. But the rest of the niggas didn't know what he was about. But as soon as BGS was in the back, Art was being petty right there and jumped on Ism, and then Ism got off the panel. I think he kicked him off the panel. He said, man, get your ass off the panel. I got that part. I'll show you the slides of why he did that. He had a screen with Don King on it. If you watch that stream, that's hilarious shit. I was in the chat just rolling. I was just like, I woke up to the argument. And I'll tell you, it's a repeat of last year with me, MOT, and BGS was on that panel with Art. And BGS called that man a spinster. Told his ass up, and I froze up. I said, whoa. And I was on that panel too. I'll never forget it. And it was one of those panels that's classics. See, Art's got a lot of classics. He's got double the amount of fuckery than I have. I got to work on that, but it's not going to work for me. But it depends. It's going to happen eventually because you're going to have one or two to get the notches up. And that's YouTube. YouTube picks and choose who they do the nigga shit. It's just what happens. People get their differences, and I think Sunday Madness, it's not tainted, but it's a good idea to do it in the afternoon because I used to do Sunday chills. It was cool. It was a layover to Monday mornings. And then I realized I can't do that long term. And I said, you know what? Let me do Sunday Madness. But once I did Sunday Madness, I knew it was going to be a hit when I did that second string. And yes, I use a Blue Yeti. Most people try to say, what mic you use? I was using a Blue Yeti. It was a Blue Yeti Pro. Still got that microphone because that brought me memories when I did that stream. And I was going against the trims. Of course, Grinch was on there, Jay Shine, and we know the rest. But when I look at that stream on the replay, I was just bone quiet and listening to the fuckery. I was in an art mode. I had that art new style mindset at that time, and I'll never forget it. And I look at his streams and mine's, ain't that much different. Ain't that much different. It's just I said to myself, man, it's a pattern. But and I think EA said something very telling. He said, why they always pick the guys that have to do fuckery on they neutral panels. And if I was on the panel with EA and I would told him this, you know what it is? Niggas want attention, man. They want to see you spar and all that shit. I did that I think 2 years ago. I think I did that last year, trolling MLT in the distance. He got me. I got him. It's just it's what it is. Nigga shit. You know, and 2021 was nigga shit for me because I think when I got back, I had to be initiated in. But this year is kind of like a wash too because it's the same shit I've seen 10 years ago. And I'm not trying to repeat that again, but I understand. I'll participate some of it. I admit my faults. At least I'm honest, unlike most people. It's just what it is. And I study YouTube. I study what it is. Like KS, one thing I have to give him credit, he don't fuck with none of them niggas. I can tell by his body language, he don't fuck with none of them niggas. He don't even acknowledge them. And that's the fucked up thing about it. And I'm laughing inside too, because he took that approach. And I look at his old shit, he was just basic as hell. He finessed them niggas. But then when I said to myself, he did the right thing. He was a plant the whole time. Like, I don't care what he did 2015, 18, but 2020, he got them niggas, man. It just proves my point. Like, I wasn't gonna do a stream today, and I said to myself, let me get my thoughts out, because I normally don't stream on Saturdays. But then I said to myself, I had to talk about a little bit of what happened last night. Because last night is very telling. It's just the same repeat. Like, and now I think Big J came in my chat one time. He said they trying to repeal 230 or something like that. I said, what? I don't know about that. I ain't got nothing to say about that. So I don't be paying attention to details what people be saying to me in the chat. Sometimes, my mind goes blank, especially new shit going on because I be focused on my other shit. So as what I'm saying, like as this point forward, I'm just gonna do what's best on my content. That's it, because I know people don't do the panel things they say, but some people do, some people don't. And I'm not even mad. I mean, I'm at this point, I will have mines on Sundays. Um, the DNTs ain't gonna be open discussions. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's gonna be short streams. But the Wednesday streams, it's whatever. They have to ask for the link. But I will talk about capitalism. I will talk about that in fully. So capitalism, I'm gonna go back to the part what I read and got that link, and next thing you know, it's gonna happen for me. So it is what it is. I just need that big break and I'm good. So I'll probably drop some pre-records in the summer. I will do that. I'll talk about different topics and things like that. So I'm getting a feel of it again. You know what I mean? I'm getting a feel of the pre-records. But a lot of times, you do what you do. You do what you do. And it is what it is. And it's going to be very interesting next month because next month is kind of like very interesting because April's one of the months you got to catch it. And that spring, I know people will be like April Fools and all that stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what that day is gonna be like. That day is gonna be some crazy ass shit. But I think my dad's birthday is in March. I think on the end of the month. It's got the same birthday as Jack Johnson. So I already know what that's gonna be like. So for me, in that time, March is about gone damn near. So the spring's here. And like I said last Sunday, spring is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of, good weather. People are gonna be crazy, especially in GA. They're gonna start shooting, especially in Atlanta area. But I live outside of Atlanta, so I don't really see what the city is because people still worry about that C virus shit. I ain't been to the city in what 3 years since that shit happened. Before the pandemic. It ain't that much. It's a lot of business loss. So it's election year. This is 2022. So we're gonna see what she's gonna do. And she's going against Kemp. And that's the thing. But speaking of on the sidebar of the conversation, speaking of sports, let's talk about the tournament. The tournament's been rocking. I've been watching what Wacky was posting, like it's a few upsets. I have to catch up, if they're on Sweet 16 and things like that in the bracket. I'm gonna have to catch up. I might talk about some of that Sunday as well. NBA is interesting. I heard LeBron, I think when he passed Karl Malone, not surprised he passed Karl Malone. He's gonna get that, but I don't know if he's gonna pass Kareem. That's gonna be a feat, but he may get Kareem. He may get Kareem next year. We'll see. He may get 37,000 because I don't know what LeBron's got to do, but I don't think he's gonna just stay at 38,000. I think he should get 40 something thousand, knowing LeBron, because what's gonna happen is he's gonna have to get a certain level of points. He's got to make a statement. 39 is not enough. 40 is more than enough. So what you have is the individual. He's here, and then Tom Brady is not retired, so that's another thing. So basically, you see him coming back, and I'm just like, I'm not even worried about it. So it's just what it is. They won a championship. I mean, we saw the Rams won. That was a statement championship, Super Bowl. And then we also had another individuals trying to make a statement, even though they're not making the playoffs. My dad's team, the Lakers, ain't gonna make the playoffs. The Lakers is just, just terrible at this point. I don't know if they still in it or not. I gotta see where they at in the West. West is kind of a toss up, but it is what it is. And it's just like I'm not even worried. And speaking on things, it's just, it's one of my thoughts. I got more thoughts to talk about. Um, Not just politics, not just sports, but current events. It's a lot of wild stuff in crime. Not much of a celebrity. I know people talk about Kanye. I haven't get into the celebrity stuff in a minute. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So yeah. Speaking of which, people still talk about they Aboriginal and shit. This Aboriginal power. It's an interesting channel, but he's stressing that too much, man. Like, shouts out to him, but you're reaching, dude. It's just the same shit I've heard 10 years ago, man. Conscious community talk. I guess that trademark talk went down with Boyce. I guess they're fighting it. And Tariq and them. So, ain't much on YouTube. It's just like I've been watching the news and shit. But that's the thing. That's the thing about me. Like, everybody's talking about that Russia and Ukraine. That's gonna be all year. So Biden said them sanctions is all year. He said that to that reporter. She shut the fuck up real quick. you know, and it's what it is. It's just is what it ain't sometimes. But Biden knows he on a mission. He trying to make a statement. So that's how people are. But people gonna get mad regardless. I don't really care at this point. Like, I'm not pissed off at anyone, especially on the internet. It's, most people call it fifth dimension. Yeah, it's fifth dimension because the live streams and things like that, people think they close. And then if shit goes left, it could be certain people to blame. Even, you can blame yourself, you can blame others, but then I realized you can't really blame anything. It's just by association. But then you got individuals call themselves a historical name, call himself Hannibal, which is crazy to me. Like, he don't even know what that fucking name means. I mean, yes, he was uh a military general and stuff like that, but still, he ended up getting defeated. I did two streams on him. I did two streams on Hannibal, not the posing one in these incel sphere that we see, but the real one, the real Hannibal. Like, I think his name is Hannibal Amarakari or something like that. That Hannibal, and his brother has Durable. Yeah, that Hannibal. That's the one I respect, not somebody on YouTube claiming that name And there's another troll that's named Hannibal too. He was in GC's chat 2 years ago. He had the original Hannibal's face, was trolling. So you got a lot of trolls out here, man. Like they love to troll you, and I troll back. I used to troll back in the day. I did a stream about this, talk about the art of trolling. I used to do that in the days. Used to go at people. It was in my 20s. I ain't like that now because I'm more reformed now. I see right through the bullshit. I know people love trolling so much, and it's cool. I don't mind getting trolled because I get the angst of people. Once they get tired of you, they just put you in the center block, and that's it. And then if you're in that position, you just leave it be. I'm on another square, so it's just what it is. And if they deal with you, they'll deal with you a year, years, whatever, and you ain't spoken years. I just recently spoke to Elder Young one of the guys I was cool with. I'm still cool with him though. I think in the Hebrew Israelite sect, we call ourselves the Yashroalites. We call ourselves Yashral on this channel. He came through the chat one time, the vlog stream, and I said to myself, I said, "Yeah, long time no see, man. Yeah, long time no see. It's been like almost I'll say 10 years. I think he did it this year, I believe. I forget what stream that was. I think it was like January, February, something like that. And I was out here and sitting on the bench, and he came through. That's a long time. Long time. Long time. So me knowing that, it's like it's been a while. I know he's been doing his recordings and things. His recordings. But I haven't spoke to him in a minute. That's a long time. So, that's why I've been thinking for this past year. This is the beginning of the year because I don't know what the summer's gonna be like. The summer I'm gonna be chilling. I'll get out more. I'll get out a lot more because I ain't gonna be streaming as much. I'll probably drop pre-records and things like that left and right for Sundays. I'm not going to do it during the week because I want to do something during the week, and it is what it is. So I have them set on some days and just leave it at that. It'll be a subject matter based thing, and I'm just like, you know, I know where everything is going now because I look at what the content is doing. Even though I have 1,000, but that 1,000 is when I left. A lot of people say, "You buy them?" I said, "Hell no, I never bought subscribers." Hell, I left that shit. I'll say 2014. I didn't have that many subscribers until I woke up one day years later, on fast forward to 2019. I had like 99, I had like 999 people, 900 and 800. It was growing. And next thing you know, I had 1,000 that same year, 2019. I think that certain individual asked me that one time on the panel. I said, dude, it's not easy. Once you get 1,000, it's a different type of bracket. And once you get that, I had a little growth this year coming back. And I told this to Kuda, my channel wasn't dead, it was obsolete at the time. You have to understand, I'm a relic. So when you do content on dark history at that time, 3 years straight, it's not easy, bro. It's like that shit mattered, but it doesn't matter now because most people worrying about this Ukraine and Russia, the end of the world shit. They they worry about this revolutionary anarchist shit. That's what they on. See, that's why I talk about anarchism and totalitarianism in my streams. And the reason I want to cover this, because the younger people gonna look at this and say, well, he's on it. Yeah, I've been on it since years ago. I see a pattern. It's the same repeat. When I used to work as a barista, I studied people's movements. They was mad all the time. And this is the heyday of YouTube, or why I wasn't around as much doing content, like 2015, I'll say like 2018, around this span. And then I saw it in 2019 when I left the city, same shit. 2020, then I got online, they brought it online. So yeah, what Duke the Don is saying is these dudes is they out there. But I look at it like this: for him, he just gotta be careful. They're not gonna fuck with you long term. You going at them like that. So that's one thing I learned about these spheres, is people gonna come at you regardless. So I learned to accept it. And I was thinking about that last night too, and last year. I said, man, this is a repeat of last year, man. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with all this shit. And to the point, I'm not gonna quit a website like this. No. I'm just not gonna respond to a lot of shit. Oh, you got a lot of Robins fighting. They fighting. Nature's fighting. Run its course. You know, fighting. Yeah, they fighting get a seed. Saw that on by the fence. I should have showed y'all, but they were fighting like a motherfucker. That's why you heard that noise. But it's wild, man. Like it took me, I think last night, and then the fuckery I saw from Art to realize that I said, man, it's the same shit like it was last year, man. Like these things are still stuck in 2021. Man, I'm on the 2022, the other things. Like I give a fuck. Like last time I gave a fuck, I was probably when I was doing YouTube 3 years straight with this channel, the second channel. It was probably 2013. Probably 2013. That's when I gave a fuck. That's when I really was entrenched with this shit. And I think back what I used to say back then. It's been a while. It's been a while. Y'all got to forgive me in the chat because 2013 that was an interesting year. And I think I was 25 at the time too. I think I went to my first Caribbean parade in Georgia. It was in Atlanta and CNN before they split and had problems. This is about a woman. She wanted money and shit, family shit. That's a whole nother topic. I can tell you. I think I got a pre-record clip of that, and I was there too. That was some wild shit. But after that, 3 years straight in the parade, the other two was split the next 2 years. Then I went to one somewhere else in the cab somewhere. They had one, and the cops tried to patrol the shit. I was like, wow. That's when I saw my first Panamanians with that flag. That was 2015. See, 2014, I was still on YouTube. 2014, I was still on YouTube. I stopped doing, um, I would say, YouTube in 2014. And when I did the Hannibal shit, I did 2 parts of him on the pre-record. And then I remember correctly, I was gonna do something else, go in depth on it more with that website, but that website grew. Shouts out to the brother with that website. Gave me some great content. Salute to the guy that has excellent content in his website. Y'all support him. I always shout him out. Even when I did those streams last year, I'm going back to what I used to do. And in 2015, my absence, when I saw my statistics sheets when I came back, I would say 2021, it was dead. It was blank. If y'all saw my graph, y'all be laughing. I was gone, nigga. I was gone from 15 to 20. 20, I was like a panelist and trying to get back the feel of YouTube. Because the live streams changed everything. I should have started live stream 2020 if I would have did this. I should have did this and had some of the content. But something told me I didn't have no subject matter at the point because I was studying certain people and these groups. Because based off association, they got you. So last year kind of saved it. Because in a way, I look at things different now. So, and then this year it's just what it is. It's the same repeat of last year. Everybody wants to be part of that PPT shit. Not supporting that. And I saw that little Purge, Mr. Purge guy, Antier. I didn't watch the Purge. I'm gonna tell you that right now in the chat or anyone's listening. I didn't watch the Purge. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't watch it. Several reasons. Because I know Balla and everybody else is gonna clip the shit out of it. But someone said in the chat, the Purge spill over the arts. Got interesting shots. I'm gonna show y'all Thursday what I'm talking about. But it is what it is. It's a repeat. And what do you call it? The spring break purge? Never heard some shit like that. Yeah, man, but that's YouTube. And a lot of people say it's black YouTube and YouTube. No, it's YouTube. It's YouTube, period. What's going on, Mace? Morning. And I look at it now, it's just like people got their own little shit, and that's cool. I know most people don't care what I'm saying, and I don't care either. It's just I'm gonna do my content regardless. So people gonna hate regardless. But this is just my thoughts. Y'all don't have to believe what I'm saying right now. No one does. And that's why public opinion can go anyway. But factuals speaks facts on certain people, and you got to earn that. So I'm not begging for no attention. I'm just saying, look, I'm just doing me. You know, I'm not worried about nobody on here. This is what it is. YouTube is kind of interesting. Interesting. Shouts out to Shar. She had a good stream. I peeked through, and she was talking about mental health. I had to cut out because I was watching two streams. I was watching hers, then I had to watch Arts. And when I saw that court just, I had to listen to this fuckery. He said in the chat, drop the link, and I was gonna say something to him in that chat. I said, Art don't drop links, fool. You got to email him. And Art showed him his email, and he showed his. And I guess Art had him in the back. Some crazy shit. And it's a repeat of last shit. That's why I don't be on Arts like that no more. Cause the shit with MOT and everything else that happened before. By association. So it is what it is. And I'm looking at it like that's what happens when you deal with this shit. Like, when you taint it for real. So people gonna look at you different. They're gonna look at you different. So on vlog streams, I'm gonna be different from now on. I'm gonna probably talk about various things too, you know, because I ain't got much to say during the week. So, embracing being an independent thinker, that's something to get away from the space, or they call it the space, the spheres and shit. That's me to get away from the bullshit. Have my own thinking. So it's not easy to come up with that title. I came with that in the summer, something like that. But since it's a spring thing, and I'll say fall, winter, and spring type, content. That's something to think about. Get your mind right, and learn different things, and get away from those mindless topics. But that's what it was. But I look at it like this: if he's trying to teach male development, but shouts out to Duke of Don, it's not gonna be easy. But then he keeps saying manosphere. Like, see, that's the problem right there. You can't use the term manosphere if the guys ain't properly meant. So manosphere is a loose term. You got to be careful with that. It's one of those terms that's tainted. And I already know the feds and the government's watching, but it don't matter. It's just a political move to dumb this shit down. So a lot of people just say, fuck it, I'm not a part of this and that. That's cool. And I try to tell Tasi, who cares? We already know they already got who's who. And he mentioned Rolo Tomasi. Rolo Tomasi is a fraud, bro. Nobody listen to that motherfucker. None of them really. And that Stefan guy, I could have told him in the chat. I said something in his chat recently. He got it in with this guy. What's that guy's name? Greg, and the other guy named Scott, the Asian guy is, I think it's called TH double P. And then I think Greg was asking what's Stefan or Educated Tyrone's problem. And he said he had a problem with this guy named Self Made, is a white boy. And Self Made chin checked him and put his feet in the fire, and then Stephon Tyrone slash him. He was on Melly Monaco's pineapple. I peeped that. I peeped that. And he cammed up. He was talking that bullshit too. Then he tried going to Duke of Don, try to get some praise, and they hold his feet to the fire, boy. Hey, get that nigga up out of there. So he's trying to talk all that good shit, and they got him. They got him. They got the nigga. So basically, they kicked him out of the chat. He was talking shit and wherever, and then they told the nigga, look, it is what it is. You can't come around here expect your echo chamber. So basically, so Duke is saying, don't be a glorified echo chamber. But he ain't been watching my shit, so we already know I'm neutral. So I'm new to his shit. So I was peeping him last year, and I would say this year. I didn't subscribe at the time because I didn't know what he was about. But he had that one clip. I think Alvin Priest showed his channel about that boy about being a follower of Flims and Flamsy, known as Fresh and Fit, and he believed in him. This is the time when they lost their subscribers to certain individuals, the girls whooping their asses. I think this was like what, last year? And this black boy was passionate. And I think Al was trying to talk to his ass, and Duke trying to tell him, they said, look, you believe in this stuff. And that boy said he didn't care, and he believed in his ideology. So didn't feel sorry for the young man, but it's what it was. But I think Duke tried to say them guys got defeatist attitude. They always have a defeatist attitude. That's just who they are. Like when I was looking at those groups, I learned about them. Like I think was it last year and 2 years ago I had to cut them off. I was just peeping and trolling they shit, but I had to cut those niggas off, bro. So I had to expand my horizons, because when you subscribe to certain people just to see and test the temperature, you do what you do. Next thing you know, you just look at it like it's nothing. It's just spring cleaning. Spring cleaning is what it is. Always do that. But one thing I can say about me at this point, it's just like it's just a repeat of everything. So, man. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, I got them shots, though, boy, man. Court Justice is a goddamn fool. He trying to get some popularity. This shit. What do you call it? The Macosphere, the bitchosphere, whatever you want to call it. Fuck that nigga. He's the same type of nigga that ain't getting it. They don't fuck with you like that, bro. I don't know why you semicolon bitch ass Gen X niggas that's 50 plus years old. That's you know guys like him. I'm not saying Art's decent, but the rest of them niggas like him, nah, fuck that nigga. Why you trying to get appraisal of a losing ass young boomer that doesn't give a fuck about you? That be highbrowing you, man. Come on. They are the worst trolls. And number one, he has a system in place to keep you away. See, that Igmore clan is crazy. One thing I give them respect, they'll isolate you like for years. It's weird like that, but that's how we get down in these smaller sectors. And then I said to myself, I'm like, okay, but I'm not even mad because I'm just like I dealt with this before. I dealt with this 2 years ago with certain individuals. But y'all know who they are. I think they're the brain trust. I don't fuck with them no more. And I don't even respond to they shit. And some people say, what's wrong with being isolated? I ain't got no problem with it. It's just what it is. That's the internet. Off this shit, I'm good. Like, I'm not even worried about this shit. This shit can go tomorrow and I do something else. There's other options. I mean, I see for what it is. I mean, YouTube had its course. And I just look at it for what it is. Ain't nothing changed. Same playbook, same game, same bullshit remedial conversations about relationships no one gives a fuck about. And I hate when people say the hoses win. They've been winning, motherfucker. They just find a way to checkmate you. The only way they're losing long term is you don't give them anything. But y'all want the same women you couldn't get in high school, and they ass don't live long. Sad, really. And I think Duke the Don was saying that on the stream, and I kind of agree with him. Yeah, it's that. I could have said a whole lot. I could have jumped on the panel and talked to the guys that night, but I didn't. Something told me don't do it. In my mind, it's no need to add. I've talked about it on my channel many times, vlog streams. If he would have reached out to me in the chat, I would have came up. I would have came up. But outside of that, it's no need to talk about this stuff. Like that stuff is dead. That street shit, keep it to the street. Don't bring it on YouTube. Last person that was on that street shit, they lost their life over this shit. So I don't even broadcast that shit. And that's why I try to tell Kuda and his shit in his channel, like, you got the tech and the podcasting down, but that fuckery shit keeps y'all stagnant. And I think a certain individual I used to talk to on here said why my shit ain't growing. I think that was Rogish. I think it was Rogish. Yeah, Rogish said that. And I told Rogish, you know what it is. If you're in these certain sectors, smaller channel views, you're gonna clash with everybody. As just part of the game. It took me to realize that 2 years ago. I said something bad about, the big homie JX. Got my wrench took it. And I ain't even trip. I ain't even trip. And then this is when, and I think Wacky remembers this. He got it on private, but I ain't gonna go in depth on that. I was looking at it like, okay, so he challenged me on the panel. Don't dare me hit the lane. This is when I cammed up. I think I had that Jamaican shirt I still got from my mom's as a gift. It's in bad shape right now. I work out in that shirt all the time. But anyways, but when I had that shirt and I cammed up and had my hat, this particular hat right here, had this mask. Oh, it was something else. I wasn't scared to cam up then, but I played the Avatar game a little bit 2 years ago. I'm guilty of all that shit. But then I said to myself, I look back at it now, and this year, shit, I've done a lot, considerably. But last year, I did a lot of content. See, 2 years ago, I should have, and then I look back at it now. I'm glad I didn't do it in 2020 because there was nothing to say. I was trying to study these niggas what they are. See, when you start off sluggish. But when I started the pre-records on the phone again, and I think News said, "You back doing content?" I said, "Yeah." I don't know what it's gonna be, but that black pill background I had, I was trolling the Igmore clan. I was pissing them niggas off, bro. I was trolling them niggas. Now I admit I'm trolling them niggas. Quiet as kept. I'll admit that. That part I'll admit. I was trolling. I think I was cool with Sheila 2 years ago over at Wacky's on the panel. I didn't know she had a decent channel. That's when I found Wacky was coming back doing content. Then I said to myself, we was cool at the time until I got it in her with the beach shit, which I call leech. Whew. Man, that's some crazy shit. And then she still got me blocked. A lot of people try to say she don't have me blocked. No, she got me blocked. I checked in other streams. No, she got me blocked. She got me blocked. When there's no wrenches, she got me blocked. Don't let her lie to y'all. She got me blocked. That's what it is. What? Let's see how much I got. Oh dang, 47. I might have to end it. It's gonna be 50 minutes. I ain't gonna go an hour. I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, and charge this bad boy up. But so yeah, Sunday's gonna be very interesting for me to talk about certain things. So I'll pull some topics I can come up with and speak on recent events, what I've seen in certain sectors. And I think Duke touched on something very valuable about that case with that boy. I think DS1 talked about that. Quiet as kept. A lot of these dudes cannot handle scrutiny. And everything is mainstream driven. I've been knowing this years ago. And then I said to myself, I can't trip. I can't trip because everything is money driven. So the site is going to be great for people that want to make money, but I don't trust their monetization system. And as soon as that you're done, you have to play a certain style of content. You got to cater. And what I explained last Thursday And that the DTNs, what I was saying was, I said this last year about co-ed panels. Are they the future? And if you want to do that type of content, talk about relations, you got to have them on your panel. You got to have them on your panel. And I think I said that to, I believe Auntie was on there his first time coming through. A lot of other shit. You got to have them. If you don't have them and you try to talk about them, you're out of there. So you got to have them. Now, if you talking about some other shit, they ain't gonna mess with. It's the relationship topics. If you go to the relationship path, and this is what Lapeef and everybody else is doing, you got to keep it with them on the panel as co-hosts or wherever you want to call it. That's just the thing. That's just the thing with the new style of streams I've noticing lately. I mean, they're doing it, as other people doing it. Even in the sports, they're doing it. And it's just like, and I look at that, I'm glad I explained that too in the screenshot. Yeah, I was supporting the news and the fuckery they was doing to my HBCUs. And I said to myself, like, you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it. So it is what it is. So I'm not really mad about everything. I'm just like, I'm kind of like, I'm not laughing, I'm just calm with it. I'm just like, I feel there's some changes, and it's cool. You know, nothing ain't bothering me. I'm just like, okay, this is like last year. It's a repeat. And everything repeats itself because when you're a content creator, you know everything's gonna repeat itself. And I'm not tripping. I'm not gonna get mad about it. I'll leave this shit alone in years. Trust me, I'm one of those people. I do hold a lot of grudges, but sometimes those grudges has a time limit. It has a yearly time limit. And the most time I was mad at a person, that was like decades ago. I don't even think about that person no more. I hold the angst, but I don't even think about that person no more. But I just try to keep it pushing. That's a smart thing for me to do. That's a mature thing to do because getting at people online is not conducive. I've learned this probably this new style of content. See, the old me would have went in is in the comment section. I wouldn't have going at you in videos. I had subliminal shots in my topics. I did that against certain individuals. And it's usually in the comment section. It's usually the comment section. I used to talk a lot in the comment section in the chat room. I'm gonna tell you about myself in Mogul Space. When I was in Mogul Space, I was talking hella cash shit. I was roasting, I was clowning, trolling. I'll say the years from '09 and 2011, I was hell. And you gotta remember, I was in my 20s at the time, early 20s. I was hell. I was still on that medication. I got off that shit at 23. I suffered that clinical depression. Once I left that shit alone and was healed, it was my grandmother's death. That's what triggered it. And I've been down those roads. I think Shar and what's the name, Duke the Don was talking about the mental illness, and I said this in a Sunday Madness. Yes, I've been down that road. A lot of these dudes need help. I can't give them that help. That's something you got to do and have that confidence to say, you've been in that chair. I've been in that chair. So it's no me to not be in the chair, not on this fucking internet shit, because I already know this can be entertainment, this could be educational, and I can't take this shit seriously. And I can't. I will not. Because if they say it's fifth dimension, just keep it fifth dimension. It's just like I'm not gonna take this shit seriously, and I will not. That goes for any websites or apps I be on. I cannot take this seriously unless I gotta meet the person, and then we're straight and we're square. And after that, it is what it is. But I didn't know Anton and Logic was cool in real life. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Found that interesting on Lapeef. I just found that it was a straight. I didn't know they was cool like that in person. Very interesting. I think Auntie and me talked about this on the panel. Morning, 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 morning. And I said to myself, I'm like, he said something valuable one time. I think it was last year around December. And I said to myself, you don't know who you be cool with if you ever meet them. I said, "Yeah, that's very true." And I told him this. I said something on the panel, and I said in that stream, I said, "Yeah, it depends how y'all gonna meet and talk in conversation, and it's not gonna be easy. I mean, we probably did some fuckery together, or some fuck shit on panels, or off air, all that shit. But it depends on how you meet them, you know. So it is what it is. But on this internet shit, it's mild in my taste. It's not that serious because I've realized I got to the point it's gone. Because when I was younger, I got caught up in it. But that Mexican or Asian guy said something valuable on Duke the Don. He said, young kids get caught up in this shit. Yeah, they get caught up. They grew up in the age. I grew up when the internet wasn't shit. Yeah, I went outside, but I actually adapted. And it's still not having no problem reading a newspaper. I remember the old shit, old pay phones. Look, I remember that stuff. I remember all that shit. Like when y'all talk about old shit, I remember that in my childhood. I still remember it. But these younger kids, my sister's age and down below, they love the technology. They can't live without it. And that's what you see in this world. I'm gonna talk about that extensively. It's bad. It's bad enough, and it's just what it is. And I've learned not to get caught up in it because I think at those ages, my sister's age, I was a little bit on YouTube, and I let that shit alone. Yeah, same here. I don't do no debates like that. Last time, if I debate somebody on the internet, the last time I debate somebody on the internet, that was back in fucking '09. I was 21. I was wild, and I was just got out of Christianity. That's the last time I debated somebody, and the last time I debated somebody on a nigga on YouTube was probably 2011 on my first channel and this channel in 2012. That was 10 years ago. Them days is over. I was doing that for like at least the first 2 years of this channel. I did it 2011 on my old channel and try to do something then, but the first 2 years of this channel, I was on and cracking. Did it in the barbershop, did it on here, but the next year I didn't. I stopped because I was changing then because I was approaching 26. But this year, I'm not even worried about it because I'm at an age I don't really care anymore because I've been on this YouTube shit for like what 15 years. So 20 years ago on the internet don't mean nothing. That ain't nothing. I had a social life outside the internet. I didn't use the internet a lot in '03. You have to remember I was playing ball for the school. So '03 was different for me. I think Gino told it different. No, it was I was outside. I told Gino I was outside, man. Yeah, I had video games and everything and the internet, but I was outside most of the early years of my youth. So it is what it is. I know people ain't gonna believe, but I don't give a shit because I was outside. I actually played ball once upon a time. That was years ago. So them days is done. You know, like most people don't even want to do that shit no more. They on some other shit. But people like that shit. I think people when they get on panels, they have an issue with somebody they bring it from another channel and stuff like that. I think arts is very telling. A lot of people say, yeah, he's messy. Yeah, but who cares? I mean, most people don't care. Quiet as kept, they really don't care. I think our people love the shit. I learned to embrace it. I'll say probably last year, and we are gonna be who we are. So it's like you can't get mad. This is what it is, and I think the last Sunday Madness, I said something like that. You're just not gonna stop people, and that's just the nature of people. People love circles all the time. They love it. It's like a religion. You can't break people out of it. It's just like when I was in Christianity, I try to be different than everybody else as a Christian, but I made that mistake trusting certain people. So I learned the hard way. And I cut that shit off immediately, and that's what it is. But it is what it is. So yeah, yeah, yeah. This thing about to go down. I enjoy my day, y'all. Peace to everybody in the chat. Salute. Appreciate y'all. And I'm signing off. Peace.